back air just by finding bounce.
Well, this is either going to... Okay. Hero's one of those characters that, like, some part of you, like, just wants the set to be over. Like, it's not going to be... Well, okay. I have a lot of things I can say about Hero, but mostly because I play against Deli a lot. Meanwhile, this is not Deli. This is Soul. This is a whole different beast. We're going to see what Soul brings to the table right here.
Yeah. An early bounce kind of got timed out by KingArc. Well played on their part, because you can, as another bounce comes on, and immediately discarding the Metal Blade. I like that. But KingArc is playing this as you would expect. I mean, while it was an exaggeration before, forward air and back air are not the only moves MegaMan can use when bounce is online, you're not exactly committing to a down smash when you're MegaMan ever. So
right, yeah.
So I like how KingArc is taking this slow approach. They know that Hero can be such a menace to approach, so they're not doing it haphazardly.
And like also maximizing stage control when bounce is out as well. Like there have been 2 bounces that have been essentially nullified, just from like ledge trump back air, not to kill, but just to buy time. Because like as you said, like yeah, forward air, like MegaMan's forward air and back air are really, really good moves, but like not having access to jab, not having access to like Metal Blade, not having access to like basically all of your special moves is like, that's a big deal for a decent amount of a decent chunk of time.
The oomph really helping out on that back throw. Not only does it boost damage on Hero, it boosts damage for Hero, but also against the Illuminary in this case. Though I completely agree with how you're breaking down proper counterplay in a matchup that can be so awkward, Clam. Just seeing what Hero pulls up on their menu is so threatening, but KingArc is playing the stage control game and playing the platform game really, really effectively, as Soul does manage to close out the stock, but is looking to build up this damage with a lot of landing forward airs, trying to space out as much as possible and use that disjoint and the activity of the hitbox to his advantage first.
Soul keeping this very, very even. Like there's some nice, cute little Z drop combos in there. I really like what I'm seeing here. That like this is a hero who definitely knows how to play against the character's like basic kit, not just that's a part of the basic kit right there. That's uppercut straight into the top blast zone.
Yeah, frame 5 and vulnerable on a couple frames as well, though the bounce online does prevent the full combo off of the Leaf Shield as Thwack almost comes out, but KingArc was able to stuff it and is taking him for a ride. 51, and they have not yet to touch the ground as the charge shot misses, but KingArc isn't letting up.
Oh my god.
No jump.
And the crash bomb. Oh my.
Wait, KingArc went that low just to plant Crash Bomb instead of to try and plant, instead of trying to forward air out of the Kaswoosh? What a lad. What a guy.
I guess.
What a guy.
Yep. I mean, that was an absolute clinic. Like that was a minute of like just straight whoop ass.
Psych up on deck.
Yeah, Soul had that like 60% string. There was some cute stuff in there, but then like after that, it was like combo, stock, right back into it.
Oh, and that charge shot and the Crash Bomber will close out the stock. After locking down neutral and placing the Crash Bomber so frequently, that was KingArc's answer many of the times just in these neutral scenarios. If walking forward tilt wouldn't be the play, it would trying to get Soul to move with the Crash Bomber and with things like Leaf Shield to try and force Soul off the spot. Really proved dividends in that game 1 as KingArc just played their game so effectively.
And this is not necessarily going to be the most attractive answer, but I honestly, RNG was not Soul's friend for most of that match. We saw 2 bounces at the beginning of the game and then really butt kiss afterwards. And like this could be a pretty tough matchup if you don't have the ability to shut down MegaMan's kit for like, you know, multiple seconds at a time.
Yeah, and it really feels like Soul isn't trying to lean into that menu and go for those rather consistent spells. Instead, choosing to find buffs occasionally, but otherwise, it's been much more about the spacing mid-range game with this hero, which is far from a bad thing in many matchups, but in MegaMan, against MegaMan, you really want to have the blue bomber feel that full stage pressure.
Yeah, true. But now what I'm noticing here is that KingArc is doing a lot of like up close and is getting really up close and personal. Now choosing to time out the bounce instead. Oh no!
Really good. That was a really good Frizzle, just using the short hop as a bait, approaching with bounce online as well. Oh, but missing the grab is Soul, and that's going to be unfortunate. Though the recovery is there. Soul is finding some really good spots with forward air, and with this lead, they can now start playing the dash back game super well.
Yeah.
Utilizing things like Zapple to really maintain so much space, and the Sizzle breaking through. Yeah,
Sizzle becomes an option here. Kaboom becomes terrifying here. Like you get a wake up Kaboom here, you're this goes from bad to worse very quickly.
Oh, but he gets the Metal Blade into the grab, but no follow up, and the attempted re-grab does get bounce online, menu usage on point.
And now you're basically, you're almost playing this a little bit like slow Joker or like slow Arsene. Like stay away from this character for a little bit longer and then you can go and fight. Because like what's the incentive of running in there when you're at this percent?
Not much. Not much to say the least, especially when you can, when KingArc is
just
just
you can do this, once you like, you wait a little bit of time and then you can just do this.
But they're both. Are they both gonna drop? No. Soul will recover. I like the overcommitment there from KingArc, seeing that you're at 154, so might as well go all in and see if you can find that edge guard. It didn't work out. You did put on a ton of damage, and has really brought KingArc potentially back into this game if they are able to close out this stock rather quickly.
But it's sacrificing, like it's putting yourself at a stock deficit, and it's also sacrificing momentum a fair amount too. Like this is not nearly as like suffocating of MegaMan play we saw as we saw in like the latter parts of game 1. This is Soul with a now at this point a pretty sizable lead.
Yeah, the Kaboom.
And of course Kaboom hits from there. Best move in the game, by the way.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good out of 10 as another back air comes out. Soul not taking the Sizzle as they fall out of back air thanks to the Z-drop Metal Blade, but it does not matter. Okay. KingArc is still able to pick up the stock and now has to go through a 0% hero with full MP.
Oh,
I thought they were.
I saw that kamikaze.
I thought they were going to go for a shield break setup off of this ledge here. Seeing that Soul's answer to a lot of these situations is to hold block and stay disciplined, which can be very devastating against a character like MegaMan, who has a lot of powerful shield break setups off of things like Metal Blade and down air. Not to mention, as we saw on the platform earlier, up air being making mincemeat out of a lot of shields. Soul pulling up menu. Oh, but gets the KingArc gets the regrab, able to extend this advantage. Looking for the back air, low, reading the air dodge, and with that much rage, you don't need to be super close to the blast zone to make sure that back air closed out the stock. As KingArc while on stage was getting a lot more dicey and a lot closer for Soul, able to amass a really solid lead. Unable to consistently get out of disadvantage, really allowed KingArc to cement that game 2 with a solid comeback.
Yeah, and that was like those edge guarding sequences is like that is people don't talk about when people talk about like movement-based characters, mobility-based characters. Like your first answers are usually like Fox, Sheik, Falco, like Captain Falcon in other games besides this one because they attached anchors to his legs for some reason. But like MegaMan's up there, man. That aerial drift, like you can stay with anyone in the game except like maybe Puff and Yoshi. Like you can drift with the best of them, and when you have moves that come out like forward air and back air, you're essentially like a walking death ball that can like position yourself basically wherever you want. Almost Meta Knight-esque, like kind of a poor man's Meta Knight in that like you have the moves to do it. And you have the mobility to get back to the stage most of the time, but the aerial drift is the real X factor for MegaMan off stage. I think it's one of the factors that makes MegaMan like one of the biggest factors that makes MegaMan such a terror off stage.
I completely agree. And KingArc really showed it, not only having the ability to pressure deep off stage with back airs, but also utilizing rush coil in a more traditional kind of sense, using it to recover high to ledge, trying to force